welcome to this session. My name is Sarah Slack and I work for Homes England, and that's an executive agency that is sponsored by the Department of Levelling Up and Housing Communities. So today I'm going to talk to you about a new government service that's being delivered called Help to Build Equity Loan, and I'm going to talk you through a little bit about how it works. There we go. So, Help to Build is a government equity loan scheme designed to help people fund their own custom or self-built homes in England. It aims to open up the market to a younger generation of builders, and initially it's a 4-year programme which will provide over £150 million worth of funding, which is hoping to help remove some of the financial barriers and could create up to over 2,000 new custom and self-built homes over this period. The scheme is managed by Homes England, and as I said earlier, we are an executive department that's sponsored by the Department of Levelling Up and Housing and Communities. So Help to Build, our aims are to make building homes a more accessible option. The scheme has 3 key audiences and customers. So number 1 is the custom and self-builder. So it's those people who want to build their own home and who want to engage with their own subcontractor will choose to work with custom or shell builders. Help to Build will make building homes a more realistic choice for a younger generation, as it provides additional funding to help them, even those who have that smaller deposit. The second key customer for this scheme is specialist and self-build mortgage lenders, as the scheme helps to reduce the financial risk that the lender is taking, and the equity loan is paid straight to the mortgage lender at the point of bill completion. This reduces that loan to cost value. So, who's eligible? Like other schemes that are funded using public money, Help to Build has eligibility criteria, and the terms and conditions apply. So, I think some of these are really self-explanatory around our eligibility criteria, but just want to point out that you're more likely to hear about this scheme through a builder or a mortgage lender or an independent financial advisor. We do encourage anybody who's looking to use this scheme to seek independent advice before entering into it. And before anybody can take advantage of this scheme, you must make sure that you're eligible. So to be eligible, as it says there, you will need at least a 5% deposit. This is your contribution towards the cost of the build. There is an online application form that captures your information, and it's through that online application that will confirm your eligibility. So this slide just provides a bit more detail about how the scheme works. It talks about, on the left here, during the build and how the scheme would work and how you'd work with your lender, and after the build how that scheme is calculated. So it is quite a detailed slide. So if it is a scheme that you are interested in, we have a number of experts on hand today at stall C8 just next to us, and we can talk through the detail of that. But yeah, it's a bit detailed for this large audience. Okay. The equity loan amount here. So Help to Build, it's not a discount on the price of the home. The land and the build cost of the home will be the same with or without the equity loan. If you're eligible for the equity loan, the maximum you can spend on a build is £400,000. An additional £200,000 can be included for the cost of the land, but that's only if it's needed. You may already own the land. Okay, so the total maximum amount eligible is £600,000. Customers are expected to pay the equity loan at the end of the term. This is normally 25 years, or when you sell the home, or if you decide to repay it at any point before then. An equity loan works slightly different to a mortgage. So here's some key things to know before taking out an equity loan. So no interest is charged for the first 5 years of the equity loan. Interest will start from year 6. but interest payments do not go towards repaying the loan. Throughout the first 5 years, there's a £1 monthly management fee for the life of the equity loan that will get charged throughout that first 5 years. And there may be some other fees and third-party costs associated if you want to make changes to your equity loan in the future. The amount that you do eventually pay back, it's worked out as a percentage of the home's market value at the time it's repaid, rather than the amount originally borrowed. And if the market value of the home rises above the estimated land and bill costs, so does the amount that is owed on the equity loan. Okay. That is the end of the presentation. So we are over on stand C8. You can register your interest, but we do have time for any questions if there are any. No? I can see a few faces in the audience, and I know you've already asked questions. We've got one over here.
Can you start repaying as soon as your build is complete?
You can.
Do you have to wait from when your home has been revalued at the market rate?
So at completion, you will move from a self and custom mortgage to a repayment mortgage. At that point, your property is valued. You can choose to repay at that point. You can choose, so once it's complete, you can choose to repay your equity loan. You can choose to keep it going for the 5 years with interest free, and then you can choose to repay. And then throughout, there are certain amounts, you can reduce the amount of the equity loan as well by certain amounts, like 5% or 10%. You can bring it down if you took the full 20% equity loan.
Does the value of would that change then? What you're made to repay, does that change based on market movements? So if the market value of your house then increases?
Yeah, that's what the equity loan repayment is based on, the market value at that time.
Okay, right.
Not the initial one at the start, at the point you want to redeem. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions?
No? Okay, well, if you do think of any questions later on, we're just over there on stand C. Oh yeah, another one? Okay, that's a really good question when it goes live. So we're ready to go live. We're a government service. We've stood at the team. The digital service is all there, ready and waiting. We're waiting for the government announcement, and we are hoping that it will be this month. Okay? Thank you.
In terms of it being equity loan, does that mean that you own part of the house, and what does that mean for us if we took it?
Yeah, so as being an equity loan, we will be a second charge lender. So your first charge lender will be your mortgage provider, but being a second charge lender, that will be noted on land registry deed records.
So with the build costs, is it the loan that you provide, is that in arrears or is that in advance of the building works?
So for this service now, you need to be at the start of your journey, and it's for people who need to take out that mortgage to do the build. So it's expected that it's upfront, and you start that journey with the mortgage lender, and they will provide you the money at regular intervals to complete your build.
Is that in advance of every build stage? Do you know? Or
it would depend with your mortgage lender on what you agreed with them, on what the release points were of the money. Yeah, I can't give advice on mortgage lenders. All right.
If you've got further questions on mortgages, Bicester are here. They did a presentation earlier about financing and sort of the different types of self-build loans, mortgages that are available. But you can speak to them directly, just ask a few questions.
Do you have a list of who's going to be on Help to Build?
I believe Bicester covered Help to Build in their
They did,
presentation, so they will be able to help you sort of find a lender who's going to be a part of that. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.